Okay, I'm done.
Are we good now?
Okay, yeah.
All
I'm
right,
good.
hello everybody. It is another week. A sad week, apparently. Another week, another WXR, the slobber knocker of sound, as it were. So, we are fresh off the Survivor Series pay-per-view. Just finished, probably about, 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. So,
It's about
we're
that,
going
yeah.
to do our recap of that. So, joining me, as usual, is Mr. James Phoenix,
Hello.
Chris, a.k.a. The Mole,
Hello.
Marcus Shadow,
Hello.
and special guest, the Fallen Angel.
Your mum was here.
Oh,
Don't make us send you to the Lair of the Phoenix.
thank you. All right, so you know how this goes for pay-per-views. We're just going to go through it match by match, talk about what happened, highlights and stuff we liked, and then our impressions overall of the match, and then overall of the pay-per-view. So,
And of course, spoilers. Just
oh
'cause.
yes, there will definitely be spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't
And for
watched
once,
it,
you got to watch the pay-per-view.
I know I did. Thanks to Free Vember. I don't know if they have some fancy name too, but the November to remember. So, first, did you want to start with that, like any of the just jump into the first match, or did you want to start with the like vignettes at the start of the show?
Well, first of all, why don't I'll cover the pre-show real quick because I think
Okay.
I'm the only one that watched it. So, the pre-show is pretty straightforward.
Fallen Angel watched it.
Oh, Fallen Angel, do you want to join me for the preview segment?
Might as well.
So our panel for the day, hosted by Renee Young, included Booker T, Alex Riley, and Paul Heyman, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, which was the same review panel, whatever you want to call them, as the last pay-per-view, and I think the one before that, because Paul Heyman has nothing better to do.
Pretty much, and I don't know, because I saw some kind of advertisement saying that the... Because I thought they mentioned that Fandango was going to be on the panel, but I guess they gave him a match instead. Anyway,
Which
so
made
they
it glaringly obvious I need to eventually boot up 2K15 and update his attire.
Indeed,
His attire looked awesome.
it did. But yes, we had two matches on the pre-show. We had Fandango, accompanied by Rosa Mendez, defeated Justin Gabriel with a leg drop from the top rope.
Mm-hmm.
Which was fucking brilliant.
Indeed.
And he looked awesome.
He did. And we followed that up with what was a pretty decent, that wasn't really good, but a decent back and forth technical match between Cesaro and Jack Swagger, which ended when Jack Swagger tapped Cesaro out with a Patriot Lock. That was a pretty good back and forth match between those two guys. I like it was a pretty moment where Cesaro had he had Swagger up for I guess it was going for the whatever that movie uses is the Destroyer, the whatever the fuck that thing he calls
Neutralizer?
generic adjective slam. And he went for and Swagger reversed it, swung behind him and pulled him up into the ankle lock. It was pretty impressive.
I will say I feel WWE did the pre-show wrong this time.
Okay.
Oh?
Only because of essentially what started the pay-per-view. I feel like that should have been the pre-show, and some of these matches should have actually been on the card. So the pre-show is back in the day when you used to watch Sunday Night Heat before you watched the pay-per-views, and Sunday Night Heat was all any rules changing and promos and stuff like that, but the matches were for the pay-per-view.
I remember Heat.
Back in the day.
Yep.
But yes, that was the pre-show. We then went into the last thing we saw the pre-show was a long black limousine pull up into the parking lot area, and out stepped Vincent Kennedy McMahon, who swaggered past the camera on his way into the arena. As we go to the start of the show,
That wasn't the end. That wasn't all of it, was it? What about Bad News Barrett?
Oh, you're right. I forgot Barrett. I'm sorry.
Racist.
Oh,
Hey, I'm allowed to say that. He's from my country, racist.
He's got
that's
a point.
not a race. It's an ethnicity.
We're a race because we're better than all the other ones.
Whatever you say, Hitler. Anyway.
Fine, how about this? We're not a race, we're a marathon.
Ha! There you go. I like that. Anyway, yes, there was a point in time where Wade Barrett came out to the ring because he had some bad news.
Which is weird because they've totally changed him. Ish. It's the same gimmick, but it's face. And it works.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think it would work as a face. And then when I saw him, I've seen him do the face thing, I was like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. And the bad news was that the Authority would be gone soon. But if they were, rest assured, WWE will still be there, will still function in the era of Bad News Barrett.
Yeah, so Bad News Barrett apparently thinks he's going to be the new Authority.
Apparently.
He's got my vote.
I'd vote for him.
Democracy.
There we go.
Democracy. Sorry.
Nice.
But yes. Go ahead. I'll hand me one.
All right. So,
Indeed, so that was the pre-show.
yeah. All right, and then there were some vignettes, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
first
sure.
one.
I'll be honest. I didn't really watch the pay-per-view. I'm waiting for Survivor Series 2014 Empires to be released.
Yeah, I had some problems with my internet, so I came in right at the start of the tag team match, but I was assured that I only missed recap stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Let
Marcus talk about the vignette.
Okay.
I was about to say, you want me to just do the beginning then, and then you can take over
Yeah.
at the match? All right, so basically you had, your standard promo vignette hyping up the Survivor Series match itself, the Team Authority v Team Cena. And then to the ring, no chance. That's what you got. You have Vince McMahon coming out. I missed the very, very beginning of the thing, so I don't know if anything happened before Vince actually hit the ring, but Vince hits the ring.
That's what started it. Besides the intro video.
Fair enough. Okay, so Vince hits the ring, big applause. Vince says, this is Survivor Series, and starts to hype up the Survivor Series match. And Triple H and Stephanie come out with the Authority, and they start kissing Vince's ass to the point where,
It's also worth pointing, not literally.
Yeah.
They didn't
To the
join
point where
the club.
Stephanie starts up a Vince chant.
Exactly, Ricky. Vince is the only person where you actually have to use the phrase "not literally," just so people know.
Yeah, not literally kissing Vince's ass, but like Triple H is like, what did he say, Jim? What did Triple H say?
What do you mean?
Jim? Because didn't he say something first, and then Stephanie started the Vince chant?
Yeah, Triple H said to the audience something to the general effect of, and let's make sure we give a round of applause to the man who's the reason that we're all here, Vince and Kennedy McMahon.
That's right. And then Stephanie starts up the chant, and the crowd actually starts chanting Vince, and Vince just kind of smirks, and he's just like, all right, let's cut it out. We all know it's crap anyway.
Well, I will say Vince's face tonight looked extra leathery. I know WWE said they got that new face scanning technology, but I don't think it worked with Vince.
He scanned somebody else's face and put it over his.
Yeah, it's like it's Vince wearing the mask from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Wow.
Okay, it wasn't quite that bad, but he looked a little leathery. I don't know if he was sick or not, or just tanned.
Yeah, he'd been just tanned. But yeah, he's like, let me bring out the leader of Team Cena, John Cena. And Cena comes out.
Whoa, spoiler alert.
And then Vince makes the announcement that should the Authority lose, there's only going to be one man in the WWE that has the power to bring them back, should he so desire. And that's John Cena himself. To which, and I think Vince had said some things about Steph, about, Steph's a McMahon, and so I have faith in you because you're a McMahon. And when he makes that announcement, Cena just kind of smiles, and he's got a mic. And Stephanie gets in his face, and she's like, you know, we're gonna beat you. You wipe that smirk off your face. Like my father said, I'm a McMahon, and now he's thrown adversity in my face. Well, in the face of adversity, I only get stronger. Da da da. And Cena's like,
Worked for
well,
Linda's campaign.
oh, and yeah, true. But Cena's like, so Vince McMahon has said that the only person who can bring you guys back into power if you lose is me. Well, I can tell you right now exactly what that means, and I'm gonna steal a line from Vince McMahon himself. You have no chance in hell. Then he drops the mic and leaves. And that was the opening bit for Survivor Series, to kick off Survivor Series.
They also addressed the fact Stephanie mentioned they would still be in the offices in charge, and Vince said no, they
Yes.
wouldn't even be able to work behind
That's
the
true.
scenes.
Yeah, because Steph and Triple H were like, well, even if we're not here, we still will control everything. And Vince was like, no, that's not what I had in mind. You see, yes, you'll still be in charge of, financials or, whatever it is the hell you guys do back there. But you will in no way, shape, or form be able to influence or control the superstars or their lives or their livelihood. Basically, hands off the operations of the WWE. And that's when they got kind of upset. But yes, moving into the first match, Richter.
All right, the first match was tag team championship match, and it was defending was Goldust and Stardust, and it was 4-way tag team match, and the other team were the Los Matadores and Miz and Mizdow, and who was the last one?
Stardust.
The Usos.
The Usos. Thank
So,
you. Don't know why I forgot them. But yeah, it was a pretty cool match. I'd say the end of it, I guess, or
Yeah.
okay. And it ended with Mizdow winning the titles for Miz and Mizdow.
Yeah, I love Miz's face, because he's just like,
Yeah.
what? What are you doing? And then, wait, we won? Yes, I am the tag team champions!
I also loved the commentary as well when we're during that matchup when they were like, "Wait, why is Damien Sandow attacking people? Miz is stood still. Shouldn't he just be stood still in this match?" And then Mike Cole's like, "Wait, are you implying Miz does nothing in the ring?" Jerry Lawler's like, "No, that's not what I was saying." Commentary tonight was actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
And I don't know why I still like just going Stardust.
Stardust.
He like hisses at people.
no.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do it right. It's Stardust.
Yeah.
If you do it, it has to be
Here's
Stardust.
a
But you can't roll a chest sound. It doesn't work.
here's a quote from a pro wrestling fan. If you're a pro wrestling fan and you were watching the VMAs tonight, feel free to kick yourself in the balls.
Yeah. We need to make that. When Jim's up on community creations, we need to download him and make Stash Dust.
Nah.
Yes. He's already got the gold jacket, so.
He does. Hashtag Stash Dust, now trending.
Make
Why
it
the
happen,
hell
man.
not?
But no, the Fatal 4-Way wasn't a bad match. I liked it, and the crowd were really behind Miz now.
Yeah, they were.
We want Mizdow.
Mizdow.
When he first got tagged in, he was like going toward the corner. I'm like, I know what they're gonna do. They're gonna be seats about it.
Yeah, I also loved the fact at one point during that when the crowd were chanting that, they're like, "We want Miz now." I loved Cody Rhodes actually doing the, "No, you want Stardust," as he does like the bow, and I'm like, "Yes, thank you." And the crowd booing, and I'm like, "You're working the crowd brilliantly." I really wish they hadn't just relegated Cody Rhodes to tag team. I want him to be fucking main event.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, that was a pretty good match. What do you think, Jim?
I agree. It was a very good match. Again, all the guys got time to shine in the ring, got time to do their thing. There was a lot of spots. Usos got to do their double dive. El Torito got to do a dive that accomplished nothing. The Matadoris were flying around. The Dust Brothers got to show off their skills in the ring. It was an all-around great match. Everybody got time in the ring. They all got a time to show their stuff, and I like the way the victory worked out.
Technically, the bull did not. Technically, the bull did not do a dive. You clearly saw him get chucked by the other person. That's why they didn't get disqualified, because he was thrown at them.
Fair enough. But
and now his swanton bomb thing actually something. It did knock one person down.
Fair enough. But yeah, I also like the point that they made after the first time that Mizdow got tagged in. When I don't know if I can remember if it was JBL or Cole, but somebody over at the commentary table made the comment of,
"Yeah, Mole already mentioned it."
Oh, okay. I missed to mention it. Sorry.
I feel like Rick.
Welcome.
So this is what I do.
Yeah. Is this what I've been doing to people? Yeah, I thought the tag match was actually pretty good. I usually like some good tag matches, so I thought that one was done pretty well. Although I had to try to explain what El Torito was. My son is like, "Is that a little kid?" I'm like, "No, that's not a little kid."
That's what happens when we leave Marcus Shadow alone in the cow pasture.
Wow.
I think that's a little tougher to explain.
No, you'd say that, the kid to just be like, yeah, touche, and just walk off.
But yeah, it was pretty cool, and I liked the end of the match. I thought it was done really well.
Yeah, I thought they told a good story, which they don't do a lot of with these matches. This match told a good story.
It did. Although I will say, I only had one small problem with the match. Although, like I said, it was a good match. It's the same problem I always have with Fatal 4-Ways of tag team matches. And it's the same thing later on when they do a tag team match later on in the night, but why the hell do you just stand on the apron while any other team is getting a pin? I've played the WWE games. They can't get in the ring fast enough to annoy the shit out of the person pinning.
It's true.
Yeah. I also made the point to Jim while we were watching it. Wait, doesn't Nizdow's gimmick make him a really bad tag team partner? Because his gimmick decrees that he's supposed to be off the apron, mimicking the Miz. Therefore, he wouldn't be in position for a tag.
True, although he did it. So I'd argue while he's actually in a match, he's working, so he's not really a stunt double in the same way.
Fair enough.
I don't know. It's the only way of explaining that gimmick.
Any comments from Fallen Angel? Nope. Okay, moving on.
All right, so next match was the Divas one, correct?
I think it was, yeah. I'm not sure if we had a promo in between.
Yeah, I can't remember. I usually tune out most of the promos.
The Divas are here.
Because usually they're not new ones. It's like a recap of like what's been going on in Raw. So
I couldn't remember if this was the point or if it was later, because we had promos of stuff like Triple H's team being rallied up.
I think that was right before the match.
Oh, Jim, you usually remember this stuff.
What's that?
I say you usually remember this stuff.
Is he even listening while we're talking?
No.
Yes, I'm listening while you're talking. Jesus. I did miss the last part, though. What is it supposed to remember?
Touche.
Trying to figure out
If there was a promo before the Divas.
Trying to figure out what happened after what now?
the tag match. Like if there was a promo before the Divas match.
After the tag match, I believe that was when they went to the. I think that was when. Let's see. They went to the back. I'm trying to think as they went. Was that the point where they had? I think that was when they went to the back and we saw Adam Rose playing with toys.
Oh yeah, that's right. The Adam Rose promo.
We cut to the back, and Adam Rose and the Rosebuds are playing with the new WWE motion action figures.
Oh, it's Adam Rose and the bunny, and he's trying to tell the bunny to basically lay down for him, and the bunny won't do it.
Yeah, and he's telling let's just do this, and the Rosebuds are all watching, and then Slater Gator come in and start talking some crap to them, and Adam Rose challenges them to a tag team match of them versus him and the bunny, which they agree to later in the night.
Yep.
Then we cut back for the Divas match.
Okay, and it was a traditional Survivor Series match for the Divas. 4v4. I know I'm going to forget half the people. Team 1 was Natalia and Emma and one of the Funkadactyls.
Naomi and Alicia Fox.
And Alicia, oh yeah, Foxy, they called her. And the other team was the other Funkadactyl, Paige, dang it, I forgot.
Layla and Summer
Layla and Summer Rae. Yeah, Layla, like, when I looked up, I didn't even, like, I saw 3 on 4, and I was like, wait, what? And then, like, Layla came up, so I don't know if she got... I was in and out for that match because I was getting food for my children and stuff. So when I leave, it was 4 on 3, and then I come back down like 3 minutes later, and it's 4 on 1. So I was like, oh wow, they just got wrecked.
It was basically a Survivor Series squash match, is what it was.
Yeah.
It was, but to be fair, it was also pretty well done. They did get to show off some of their talent. Like this is proof that people underrate Alicia Fox.
Mm-hmm.
She did some pretty good stuff, but I liked it. I also liked Paige's reaction at the end when she was the one person on the end. She's like, "No, fuck this," and just walked off.
She tried to walk off, and Emma grabbed her, threw her back in.
Yeah.
I have to say, I was not that impressed with Emma, though. I thought Emma was supposed to be pretty good, and she wasn't that good. I mean, she wasn't that sloppy, but she was like really slow, kind of uncrisp, unsure of herself, and it's just like compared to all the other divas in the ring, she just seemed, I don't know, mediocre.
You're saying she seemed mediocre compared to the Funkadactyls?
Yes.
Well, one of the not Naomi, the other one. No, wait, no, I think it was Naomi. Like had that like head scissor slam thing.
Yeah, that thing was awesome.
That thing looked cool. I was like, whoa. I was like, one of them has a move.
Yeah. It's like, where the hell did that come from?
Yeah, they have a move. But yeah, Emma's problem is she's good at wrestling, but the problem is right now she's still in the female Santino gimmick.
Mm.
It's like Santino. It's like, are you saying Santino couldn't wrestle because they only used him as a joke character?
But that's not what I'm saying, though. I'm not saying it's because of the gimmick, because she showed in this match that she could wrestle. But the problem was she was kind of, I don't feel it was actually the gimmick that was doing it, but she just felt unsure. She was like a half a step behind everybody else. She was slower. She wasn't, because all the other divas were actually like running flat out. They were taking the bumps. They were trying to at least balance against the ropes. She tried to bounce against the ropes, but she was going kind of slow. And it was just like, yeah, you're not really putting out a strong showing here, Emma.
Yeah, that's why I argued it was the gimmick, because in this gimmick, she's a lot slower than she normally is, and she does more of the stiffer action, similar to how Santino did, like when she normally does like the trumpet, and as a result, her wrestling suffered, and her motion in the ring, she's just slow as shit. But when you watched her in NXT, she was fast. She was a lot faster and could actually wrestle. And it's like, that's a shame.
Yeah.
I don't like the female Santino gimmick.
No. I feel that should have gone out the window the instant he retired.
It should have.
But aside from that, it was a pretty solid match. Like you said, all the divas had a chance to shine. They had a few minutes in the ring to show their stuff, so I approve of that. And we even had a wild Tyson Kidd appear at the end to hog all the celebration.
He was at ringside the whole time.
Yeah, I know. He was taking selfies, as you pointed out to me.
Yeah, I pointed out to you he was taking selfies and tweeting because he's Natalia's manager. How dare you say just show up at the end? He's the most important, influential manager in WWE history. Forget my I'm a Paul Heyman guy. I want my I'm a Tyson Kidd guy t-shirt.
Yeah.
Natty's husband.
Are you gonna make
But-
that in the game then?
I have downloaded the version of him with the white jacket and the big headphones.
Thanks.
Just because I do like Tyson Kidd's gimmick. Like I said, I thought it was awesome during the pay-per-view when during the matchup he's taking selfies and tweeting about the match with "Good job, team. It's now 4-on-1" and stuff. It's like that's not what a manager does. You don't just stand there taking photos of yourself and tweeting and stuff. That makes him sort of awesome. I love how self-involved he is. He's actually, you know what I mean? He's doing a good job with the character, which is great because I think this character will get him over because. I know I'm rooting for this character. He's Zack
Fair enough.
Ryder. He's Zack Ryder if Zack Ryder wasn't played by Booster Gold.
Good analogy, Mole. Good analogy. Do we have any comments from the Fallen Angel for this one?
Or Jim.
I want to see Booster Rider as a gimmick now.
Booster.
It's called Zack Ryder.
Ah,
It wasn't too bad a match. It definitely wasn't the piss break match this time, which was good.
Nope, that's coming up.
Now that we have you back on voice, Fallen Angel, what do you think of the first match?
The first match was pretty decent. I still think they could have put a little bit more into it, but you know, they didn't really have time constraints because there was some stuff they could have taken out of the main event and added more time to the other matches. So
Hell, they could have done what I said. They could have just removed that promo, used the first promo, used that as the pre-show, and extended some matches and included like either the Fandango match on the card or the Cesaro match on the card.
yeah. But they are really trying to push the network, and especially because it's free this month, they put 2 matches on the pre-show.
Yeah, but I would also argue if it's free, that's the hook this month. And if you watch the pre-show and you're like, oh my god, I'm watching the pre-show for one of the matchups, Vince McMahon has an important announcement on there, and you realise, wait, the pre-show dramatically affects the actual pay-per-view. I need to start watching this.
Yeah.
True. I can agree with that. So over to Jim for the next promo. So I'm assuming Richter doesn't remember any of the promos, probably.
Not usually, no.
I'm trying to remember what the next promo was.
Please be
Is
the
it
Triple
the
H group.
No, is it the Authority one?
I'm thinking it might be.
Can I just address one thing with this?
Yeah.
I just want to address one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Rusev in flip-flops.
I noticed that too. I was like, wait, is Rusev wearing flip-flops? And Jim was like, no, he's got his. And then he stopped, looked again. Nope, he's wearing flip-flops.
And actually, I'm going to stop you right here. Actually, no. There was just a quick commercial here, and then we went into Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose. The promo in question is after that match.
Oh, well.
Yeah, we can talk about it before. We're already in the middle of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it doesn't actually affect the order with that. But as long as we don't talk about that after the actual match, it affects.
Yeah.
But I like that promo, to be fair, with the win. I like that, but...
It was a fight.
Mm.
The Team Cena one was win.
Yeah, Cena was win. This was fight. But yeah,
That
I will
was a
say,
good promo.
it was a good promo, but I was constantly distracted by the fact I'm like, why is Rusev in flip-flops?
Yes.
I mean, I was like,
flip-flops.
and I'm like, I understand it because a load of people who fight in stuff like taped up feet, like barefoot, they will wear something easy like flip-flops they can just pop off quickly and just tape up to go out for their match. But he looked weird. I don't know why he was in flip-flops, and I don't know why I'm going to give him that attire.
I mean, it would make sense if he was, like you said, way before the match, or if he was just hanging out backstage. But these are guys, they're supposed to be getting pumped up and ready for their match. His feet should have already been taped up.
I picture he just shows up to the arena dressed exactly like that. Flip-flops, taped up feet, just the trunks, the star medal.
He does. Just like Randy Orton is incapable of arriving at a building with pants on.
Yeah.
Well, he's apparently incapable of arriving at a pay-per-view in his hometown.
He was there.
He had a ticket. Didn't you see that?
Mhm. He was there. I don't want to give any spoilers, but who do you think's the bunny?
Ha!
Admit it, you would have marked out like fuck it at some point during the night if the bunny had RKO'd someone.
The RKO's Adam Rose.
That would just be amazing. Adam Rose has his back to the bunny, and you see the bunny go down and do the fucking punching at the apron. You'd be like, the fuck? We're doing my RKO.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, that was a pretty good promo. But let's go to the match.
So it was Ambrose versus Wyatt.
Did not
And,
like this.
Yeah, it didn't.
No.
Ended in a double, no disqualification. So Wyatt technically won.
Ended by DQ.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I did not like this match. Like I said, Ambrose, I don't like him when he's punching with the flailing at the arms.
Yeah.
I don't like that. And some of the stuff he did, and especially the ending, it just goes into more of the Ambrose weapons for the sake of weapons, or as Marcus pointed out, just a promo for the next pay-per-view. And I'm like, this is worse than the Divas match.
Yeah. Yeah, I pointed out that to you before, Mo, about Ambrose's fighting style. It's the reason I don't like him as a wrestler, because he doesn't wrestle. He just flails around like he's having a seizure, and I'm like, I want to see you actually wrestle.
Yeah, like I said, when we've seen him wrestle, he's been good. It's just nowadays when he's doing this brawling thing, I don't mind him just doing the brawling stuff, but now in the last couple of matches, he's gone too much with the flailing, and then just like, oh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I'm gonna do random weapons. It's like, oh, okay, silly me. I thought we were gonna see wrestling. Not placing chairs and a table on top of someone. Ooh, the horror! You slightly inconvenienced him.
Well, no.
Admittedly, he was put through
Well,
a
at
table
least-
first.
Yeah, at least for this one, the first appearance of the weapon when Bray Wyatt got the chair, at least it made sense because they were trying to harken back to the Cena thing. And we all kind of knew and expected Ambrose to react differently, shall we say. But yeah, he kind of took it a little overboard.
He did, and it was ridiculous. Like, okay, fair enough with the chairman. Okay, fair enough when he put him through the table. It was still like, really, this seems pointless. This whole match seems like it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
And then he just started to throw a table on top of him, then throw some chairs on top of him, then get a ladder, place it there, and just grab the ladder and start to shake it like Michael J. Fox trying to stop someone, trying to hold the ladder in place. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
And yes, that was a Parkinson's joke. It was due.
Nah. But yeah, I agree that I was like, really, they're gonna do this? Wow. What is
Yep,
everybody
they're
else?
gonna do this.
What does everybody else think?
There is a promo we forgot before this.
What's that?
I think. Wasn't it before this where we saw the Roman Reigns via satellite?
No.
Okay then.
Alrighty.
No?
Oh.
Blah, 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 blah. Destroys him. Then the backstage segment, and then Adam Rose.
So anyway, what did everybody else think about this quote-unquote match?
The Bray Wyatt one.
Yeah.
I thought it was at the end when he was throwing chairs in. I was like, oh, it's like ECW, just throwing chairs in the ring. But yeah, it was. I don't know. Like, since I haven't been, don't see Raw. I haven't seen much of the build up to this, so it's just kind of like there as a match, and then it was like DQ, and I'm like, man, okay. Didn't seem that great.
Fallen Angel.
I think it was, although it wasn't a great match, it was a really good spot for TLC.
Yeah, it was a good trailer.
Because then later in the night, they confirmed, oh, they're gonna have a TLC match at TLC.
What? What kind of craziness is this?
Yeah, I suppose the quote-unquote match served its purpose, even if we felt its purpose was stupid.
Yeah, it
Oh,
may
Jim,
have.
what do you think?
I didn't feel it had a purpose because I felt this didn't continue their feud. It might continue their feud a little bit, but it's like you could have done this another way.
I felt its purpose was to promote TLC.
Yeah, but they could have promoted TLC and still done a good match.
They could have. Jim, what do you think?
That was a decent match.
Really?
He doesn't care.
I get the sense he wasn't, even if he wasn't listening or caring.
Fair enough, back to Richter.
I thought it's one of the big four. I give a lot of matches to the big four a pass. I probably shouldn't, but
Then you're gonna love Brock Lesnar v Goldberg.
yeah, right. I said I did not all, but I said a lot, and
See,
Just to check.
I'm the opposite. On the big four, I expect more.
that's fair enough. I can give you that.
About mostly WrestleMania. I expect
Oh,
WrestleMania.
right.
to
Yes,
be a fight.
WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I agree with that. That's a higher standard.
Mm-hmm.
But just to check, because I didn't hear if we moved on. We're still talking about Bray Wyatt and Dean
Ambrose.
Ambrose, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just checking, 'cause I couldn't tell if I missed something if we moved on there. But it was
might
it was
help you
okay
to listen.
it was okay for what it was. It was a storyline match, which I don't always like them doing.
It wasn't
Yeah,
even a
but-
storyline match. It was just a cheap promo for TLC.
Well, but they were using that because that's where they were building the storyline to from Ambrose and Wyatt. They were going to build that to TLC. It was also the storyline because Bray Wyatt did his whole thing he did with John Cena of hit me, Dean Ambrose, join me, we can rule the world. And unlike Cena, we proved Ambrose is a different guy because Ambrose actually hit him and actually assaulted him and got himself DQ'd. So that also builds up their storyline of is he turning Dean Ambrose to his side or is Dean Ambrose just too crazy? So they kind of built the story up a little bit while promoting TLC at the same time. So for what they intended it to do, they never intended it to be a good match. So for what they intended it for, I thought it was okay.
Yeah, but let's say I'm confused about this whole feud.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Is he trying to convert Dean Ambrose to his side? Or is he trying to prove Dean Ambrose isn't crazy? Or does he just not like Dean Ambrose because his daddy's in prison? It seems to change between those three stories each week. Sometimes mid-promo, and I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
to the point I can't follow this. It's almost like you've taken, I don't know, Star Wars, Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, and just cut pieces and just glued them together and said, fuck it, it's a film.
Kinda, yeah.
That's not how this works.
Agreed.
No. I am your father. Life will find a way. Great Scott, it's about your kids.
Use the
Wait,
1.1
what?
gigawatts.
Yes.
Will you guys get out of here? I'm trying to say goodbye to Lisa.
There you go. Back to Baldy Wong Kenobi.
All right. So
Indeed.
the next up was the Adam Rose match, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, ends with the bunny picking up the pinfall victory, and then basically completely stealing his spotlight and doing the trust fall and everything. And I don't know, like you can kind of
ignoring
see the.
Rose.
Oh yeah. I thought you kind of thought that would happen in the match, but I thought the way Adam Rose, like his reaction was amazing. Like I just love how he kept holding his hand out, like he was like even when they're leaving, he was still holding his hand out, like you gonna tag me. It was like funny and sad and really well done. Like I loved what he did.
I completely agree. The matchup itself wasn't that good. The Adam Rose wrestling part was good, just the bunny wrestling part wasn't. Fair enough, it's a kind of bunny suit, what do we expect?
Yeah.
However, yes, the whole hand out on the apron, and the bunny leaves, he gets in the ring, and he's still got his fucking arm out to him as he goes up the ramp. Like, and he has a look on his face that makes you feel sorry for him, and he's the heel.
Yeah.
I love
That was
Adam Rose,
brilliant.
he's fucking awesome.
Yeah. I love they just walk out with the bunny and Adam Rose just turns and watches him leaving. He just has this look on his face of like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? What about me?
What about Raven?
Yeah, you're like, aww. One has to wonder how long he actually stood there.
Now that he's he was still there if I just digitally edited him out.
Tag
Well,
me
they
in,
have-
That should be
tag
the
me in.
reaction show. It just goes back to the arena and he's still just standing there.
Or WWE.com exclusive. They put him on a stretcher with his arm up to carry him away. They place him in Triple H and Stephanie's bathroom so they can use his arm as a towel rack.
Wow.
Although now that he's back, can we actually get the tag team that I really want to make? Well, I've been asking for this, and like I said, when we get the DLC eventually on the wrestling game, I've promised to make this team. I want Fandango and Adam Rose as a tag team. That would be amazing. That tag team for tag team champions.
What would you call them?
Fandango and Adam Rose.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
Well, considering it seems like Fandango now has a tango gimmick, you could call them the Rosebuds.
Yeah. Or Adam Rose has sold out his gimmick. He has a tango gimmick. Tango and Cash.
Okay then.
Yeah, we don't have to name them. They'll come up with a name later on.
Yes.
Yeah, so the problem is they'll come up with 5 shit ones and make the fans vote on one and it'll be the shittiest one.
Hey, I don't care as long as they're together. You can name them. You can name them almost anything. I just want to see those two together because I think Adam Rose's gimmick would work really well with Fandango's, either as his, I don't know, like his ultimate rival or as his ultimate tag team partner. I want to see those two together, especially with Fandango's new outfit where it's more serious. It matches Adam Rose's look a little bit more. And it's like, I want to see that as a team.
Yeah, that could work.
Oh my god, can you imagine if they do what they do whenever they put two people together, Jeff? Or Marcus?
What's that?
Cha cha. Da 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 whoa. As they mix both themes together. Oh my god, yes.
Whoa,
Weird.
whoa, cha cha cha.
Yeah,
Weird.
It'd be an amazing tune. The crowd, cha cha. Cha 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 cha, and it suddenly turns into the words, and the crowd actually swaps and starts to sing along. It'd be amazing.
Whoa, cha cha.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Whoa, cha cha cha.
So,
whoa,
does anybody have any predictions as to who the bunny's going to end up being?
It was me, Austin, as everyone always does every week.
Sami
I
Zayn.
I honestly thought Justin Gabriel, and we know he was there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The bunny is CM Punk. He never actually left.
Yeah.
Once you said Orton, I love the idea of it being Orton. I don't think it would be, but that would just be amazing.
No. Orton's not aerial enough to be the bunny.
No, it's a
That's the
slight spoiler alert. I do have inside sources on WWE that have told me what this is leading to.
Sure.
Wait till after Royal Rumble, and the bunny will take off his mask and reveal to Adam Rose who he was, leading into Undertaker versus Adam Rose at WrestleMania.
Wow.
And the,
Okay then.
and the storyline is Brock Lesnar when he broke the streak, he broke Undertaker's spirit. He injured his head. Undertaker's not been in his right mind. And so he's been dressing like a bunny and thinking he is a bunny this whole time. But then when he gets cured, he's going to get his powers back. And oh God, Adam Rose, he's coming for you. Now I miss story designer.
You're going through story designer withdrawal?
Yeah, now I miss story designer just for that one just to do that one story.
There you go.
Do they even have the bunny outfit in the game?
No, but I'm assuming either A, DLC, because I know he's part of Adam Rose's entrance, or B, you'd be able to make him somehow.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, so what's next?
Well, let's see. What's next? We have
Stuck down a toy commercial.
Stacked on Toy Commercial, and Some guy related to The Rock thinks he's The Rock and showed up via satellite.
Thank you.
Forget that bit. We can bury that bit for right now. Let's talk about Stack Down. I won a game.
Traveler's Tales presents Stack Down, the video game.
You put someone through the announce table, then assemble it into another weapon.
That'd be awesome.
You put them through the barricade, the announce table and stuff, and then you use Master Build to put a Hell in a Cell around the ring.
That'd be amazing.
It will never happen. But yes,
No.
Roman Reigns.
Make it happen, Traveler's Tales. Make it happen. Yes, Roman Reigns appeared via satellite. Although I have to wonder if he was truly via satellite, considering he could quite plainly hear the crowd not reacting to him the first time.
To be fair, it does say live via satellite, so he must have the live feed.
Fair enough.
He has.
I mean, it'd be easy to do. Just hook up his laptop, tune into the WWE Network, hashtag #free, and watch it at the same time.
True. Yes, but wouldn't that interfere with the live feed? Because, as we all know, the network is delayed by like several seconds.
Yeah. But no, it said live, and whenever they're live via satellite, they always react to the crowd. So, I don't know. He might have been backstage. I don't know. It was pitch black. He might have been inside a bunny suit. I don't know.
This was basically Roman Reigns saying he'll be back in a month. That's all it was. I mean, the commentators, for whatever reason, stood up to conduct this
Yeah,
interview,
what
but they
was that
were
about?
asking questions.
Although I will say, that is something that was awesome, though.
What's that?
He actually said, "I'm back next month," which he's actually given a time for him coming back. And I've got to say, this is a lot better for a return of the guy just flat out saying, "No, you know what? You're going to see me when I return next month." That's a lot cooler than say, and I'm not hating on Cena here, I just don't like this. Do you remember when Cena was injured and for 3 fucking months we got interviews with like Snoop Dogg and various non-wrestlers talk about how important in their lives Cena was for when he returned? I hated that shit. I preferred either like the Triple H Beautiful Day style promo. If you remember that, it's a beautiful day. Boom, sledgehammer to the face, awesome. Or this, where he just said, "I'm going to return," and then returns. That's much cooler, and it suits Roman Reigns' character a lot more to be like, "I'm going to return and kick ass." Then, yeah, look, all these celebrities like me.
What was the next match?
That would be one WWE Divas title match.
Oh yeah.
In which Nikki Bella faced off against AJ Lee.
Which was awesome.
It was a good match.
So,
It was a match.
Well, sort of.
Yeah,
Nikki
I just loved
wins, but is Brie turning heel?
Yes.
it. It looked like Brie turned heel. Which, FYI, Marcus, what was my prediction the other week about Survivor Series?
Yeah, you said Brie was going to help Nikki win the title, and they were going to reunite as the Bella Twins as a heel team.
And it looks like it could be coming true, but I love the fact. But they could just pass it off because I love the fact it was just one, AJ's no longer champion, yay. But B, I also love the fact it was a reference. Brie got revenge for her husband with his title loss.
Yeah, pretty much.
Plus, HLA.
I have to admit, the kiss was pretty hot.
Yeah, that was the important part here. Nothing else.
Thank you. At least someone else here besides me is a man.
William Regal.
He's a man.
He's a man's man.
Yeah. I will say the kiss was kind of cool. It was a little awkward, but it was kind of cool. But I just loved the doom over. And I was like, yes, oh my god, she lost the title that fast. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not as fast as Mark Henry lost the next match, but
Actually, I think it was a little faster.
Yes, and then I think after that, did we not have the Team Cena promo and then into the main event? Win. That was completely ass random. You have Eric Rowan sitting there playing with the damn Rubik's Cube, and then Cena's like, we only have one thing left to do, and Rowan just kind of stands up, walks into, they just kind of look at him, he pulls the mask up, and he just goes, win. And then puts the mask back down and starts playing with the Rubik's Cube again.
You know what I really kind of hoped with that when I saw him in the background playing with a Rubik's Cube? I hoped when he stood up, I was hoping he was going to pull back his mask and just say, solve our problems, and hold up a solved cube. I don't know why, I kind of wanted him to solve it.
Yeah.
Big Valboski's like a Rubik's Cube. Oh, sorry.
So, Rick, present our main event.
All right, so then
In
moves on to
Rick
the-
D.
in Rick.
And that stands for Rick Do. As in, that's what Rick do.
I get like a new shirt every other week, I swear.
You're John
you're
Cena.
Cena.
You're our John
Rick D,
Cena.
yeah.
Nice. Well, that's also worth pointing out. Didn't Cena swap his top at least twice or 3 times during the same night?
Let's see, he had the yellow shirt on in the opening promo. In the back, he was wearing the Keep Calm and Never Give Up shirt. What else did he have?
I said at least twice, because I couldn't remember if when he came out the 3rd time, did he have a different top?
I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I only saw the Keep Calm and Never Give Up one.
Yeah, his first one he was worn during the Vince promo was like bright yellow and shit. It was, and that's why I was like, when they swapped shirts, I was like, wait, what? Why did you swap shirts?
Gotta sell that merchandise.
It almost makes no sense.
Merchandising.
It still makes no sense logically. But speaking of stuff that has no logic, main event.
Yeah, the main event was a traditional Survivor Series, Team Cena versus Team Authority, which, if you've been following Raw or any of our stuff, you should know most people in there. Team Cena was Cena, Ziggler, Ryback, Big Show, and Eric Rowan. And Team Authority was Seth Rollins, Luke Harper. I actually remembered his name.
Nice.
Mark Henry, Rusev, and there's one more guy, isn't there? I think that was 4. Oh, Kane. How did I? Oh man, I just authority'd him. I just totally forgot.
You forgot him because, for whatever reason, they didn't want to win the match tonight and they didn't give him his mask.
Well, yeah, that's why I typed to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said to Jim before we were talking about it. I was like, wait, why doesn't he have his mask on?
I think it's because if they gave it to him, then they couldn't control him. Then he would be Team Authority.
Also, don't forget, Team Authority also goes beyond the 5-man because it also consists of Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, and J&J Security.
I still want them to be M&N Security. But yes, J&J Security. So, and it ends with Dolph Ziggler picking up the win for Team Cena, eliminating the last 3 members of Team Authority.
With help.
Spoilers!
Yeah, with help
Spoilers.
from the returning. Well, I guess not necessarily returning,
Debuting in WWE.
debuting non-surfer Sting.
Yep.
Crow Sting.
I will also say, during the pay-per-view, I did slightly point out some of the slight hypocrisy with people.
Oh?
There was loads of people going, yay, go Dolph, yay, yay, every time he was eliminating someone. I was like, wait, so a couple of weeks back, like literally 2 or 3 weeks back on Raw, Cena was in a tag team match. He took out like 2 people in one matchup, and everyone raged that Cena was burying people, but Dolph does it, and everyone's like, nah, it's cool, it's not Cena. I'm like,
Welcome to fans?
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell? And I will say, yeah, this matchup just locked. Oh, I did not like this ending or the match. It lacked logic.
Well, I have to say,
Yes.
if we're going with this version of Sting, where the hell was his baseball bat?
He did.
Budget cuts.
What, Sledgehammer buried baseball bat?
There was no sledgehammer either. They were fighting each other backstage.
They were. They were fighting each other because Baseball Pat texted himself.
I really
It could
need a
happen.
story creator.
But I'll talk about my problems with the match.
Mhm.
Multiple times, like when Dolph was getting all those victories, they were just on the apron. For what I'll allow the time when he pinned one of the Wyatt. That's allowed. Fair enough, because it was a quick roll up in the far corner. Fair enough. But the first one, why the hell didn't they split open multiple times during this night? Why weren't they trying to split up the pin? Seth did it a few times, and a couple of times they did it. I was like, yes, but a lot of times they didn't do it.
Triple H was saving it for the end, where he
Yeah.
did it every other second.
And I will say I was waiting for Sting to debut, and I'm glad he did debut. However, I don't like how he debuted for one reason.
Oh.
I assume it's the same reason everyone else would have thought of. He's essentially returned, got rid of the authority, which means when Orton returns, what the fuck's he gonna do? Orton's been written out of his own storyline.
Kind of, yeah. You have to admit, it was an excellent swerve, though, because everyone was expecting Orton, to the point that the crowd was chanting, "We want Orton," and to the point that Fallen Angel over there throughout the entire match was like, "Okay, where's Orton? I know he's coming out. I know he's coming out." And then boom, Sting's music hit, and we're just like, "What the fuck?"
And no, the words you were looking for wasn't brilliant swerve, it was Russo swerve.
There you go.
It was Sting.
We came up with lots of Russo swerves. But don't worry.
Yeah, it was Sting in slightly different makeup, which fair enough, I all allow that. Did not like the theme song. It seemed different, did not like that. But
Why didn't
I
they give
don't
him his
like,
actual theme song?
I don't know, but I don't like the fact, like I said, I don't like the fact it feels like Orton's just been written out of his own storyline. The only thing he's going to have to do when he comes back is, I don't know, Kane, possibly?
Take out Sting. Orton v Sting, WrestleMania. Bring back the Legend Killer.
Why would he do that? He's going to be coming back as a face.
I don't know.
Russo swerve.
Yeah, Russo swerve. Maybe he's not.
Sorry.
It looks like they're going to build up to Triple H v Sting at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's
would
what it
be
looks
weird.
like.
Although I
Yeah.
will say, I did go, sorry, I forgot what month it was for a second. When Sting did the dramatic head turn to the side, like he was staring at something, I honestly thought the WrestleMania sign was there.
But if he points at the sign, I need him to do it with the bat.
He does.
Yeah.
It won't seem right if he just points. I'll be like, no.
Yeah, he needs to
Yeah.
point with the bat.
He does. But also, what does this mean for Triple H's feud with The Rock at WrestleMania?
To be fair, that was just a tease, which means we don't know if either that one or the Sting one would happen. I mean, hell, Sting v Taker could still happen for all we know. This could just be to bring in Sting. I don't know, but
Yeah, because Triple H is gone. They can't really feud if he's gone, unless Cena brings him back with the intent of... Oh, that's what they're going to do, is it? Cena's going to make Triple H come back as a wrestler and fight Sting.
he's going to bring him back as a wrestler, as the third member of Slater and Gator to reform 3MB.
Ha! That'd be hilarious.
No, my slight prediction with that, which I don't think is going to happen, to be fair, I'm not going to be one of those that says it needs to happen or it is going to happen. Part of me was thinking I could kind of see when it's Brock v Cena, part of me kind of expected Triple H to just pedigree Brock. And it turns out Cena's gone authority and brought him back, but I was like, I don't think that makes sense.
I think that makes quite a bit of sense. I actually said during the show, to them, oh, you know what this sets up? A Cena heel turn in the future where you can bring them back. So it would not... Yeah.
I said that right at the very beginning as well when I was talking to Marcus, the only way I could see it before the matchup ended was I could only see it if either A, Cena's responsible for all the faces going, in which case heel turn, or B, he can bring back the authority at any time, in which case he has the authority in his back pocket, heel turn. but they've done that so many times in WWE, I don't think it's going to happen. But yeah, like I said, the matchup itself was okay. Parts of it were pretty damn good, to be fair. In my opinion, the one that stole the show, as people would probably put it, would be Seth Rollins. I thought this match actually let him show that he was crafty, he was intelligent, and could wrestle good. I mean, don't get me wrong, he can wrestle well. We all know that, but recently they've been hiding him more. You know what I mean? Like doing everything to protect him. He looked actually pretty damn good in this match.
Yeah,
Dolph
and
looked good.
he also took charge and showed he could kind of be a leader because he was like, no, don't let your emotions get the better of you. Back up, like he was trying to control Harper and stuff.
Yep. But yeah, and Dolph had a chance to shine as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say I did like fuck when Ryback was eliminated.
I laughed my ass off when Mark Henry was eliminated.
That
also,
actually was fun. I didn't think I would like something like that because I usually don't, but that was actually pretty funny.
yeah. I also predicted, I think, although it might not actually be to unify the titles or whatever, but it might be. But I'm based on the second they started to do, I was like, they actually have great chemistry in the ring. I want to see Rusev and Dolph as a feud.
That could be good.
And based on how it ended with the table thing with Rusev, it kind of needs to happen.
Tables match at TLC.
Yep, it could happen. But I was just like, it set it up for a Dolph v Rusev match, which would be good.
Mm-hmm.
And how would they unify the titles in between the two of them? They only got one title.
I was assuming once like I mentioned to Marcus when I did it in brackets, I was assuming at some point Dolph will get it back because the only reason they put the title on Luke Harper, I think it was, the only reason they put the title on him was just to show the authority were being dicks. Which means now that there's a new person in charge, they may say, I could easily see them saying, we're rectifying the mistakes. Boom, Dolph v him one-on-one, Dolph gets his title back.
That could work.
Indeed.
What did everyone else think about the ending in the match and shit?
Kind of went on for a bit, but I think it was decent.
I thought it was awesome to see Sting. I thought it was a little anticlimactic. And it didn't feel right that he didn't have his baseball bat. At least to me, I'm like, oh, if you're doing Crow Sting against basically authority, he has to have the baseball bat. Come on.
I would say he does if there's multiple, but there was only Triple H there, so he really didn't need it. The baseball bat's more of an equalizer, I'd say. It felt a little weird he didn't come from the rafters, but I understand why because someone says why.
The other thing that threw me off too is why did the ref stop his count? And literally sit there and stare at Sting until he made it up there. And Sting didn't even run. He just kind of sauntered up there, and it's like, okay, you could just count it and boom, authority wins. Sting can't do shit.
There was no ref.
Yeah, there was.
No, there wasn't.
What's his face? Fucking what's his face came out. It was 1, 2, and then the lights went out and Sting's music, and they were like, the fuck?
Yeah, Scott Armstrong.
Scott Armstrong, yeah. Like Scott Armstrong literally stopped and basically did fuck all for like 5 minutes as Sting walked down the ramp and stared at Triple H.
To be fair, if you were the referee, wouldn't you have gone, wait, it's a Sting?
Well, Triple H, to be fair, didn't do anything either.
Yeah, Triple H should have said, just finish the count, finish the damn count.
The whole ring just stopped.
See, if Triple H was smart, he is the authority. If Triple H was smart, he would have just turned, said, I'm the referee now, and then counted his damn self like freaking Michael Cole said.
Yeah, which I will. He could have just done the Austin approach, of just used one of the many unconscious referees and just lifted their arms up 1, 2, 3.
That could have worked too.
Mm-hmm.
But
I like how this is one of the instances where we have to use the phrase "many unconscious referees."
I do too, but yeah, I also did like the fact I was talking to a couple of people via typing and shit at the same time as I was watching the pay-per-view and stuff, and I also saw someone go, yeah, he had Sting, and I was like, wait, why isn't he saying anything? I'm like, you really haven't seen this version of Sting. The Crow Sting's famous for not saying much. He said some stuff, but he doesn't say much. That was why he was famous for the fact they took Surfer Sting, who was very vocal, and turned him into one of the most silent wrestlers. And it worked, because he has an aura about him. Though it did seem weird that his hair was lighter.
I'm gonna say, that's the thing. His hair was weird, and when the camera was behind him, you could see the bald spot. I'm like, don't make Sting look old, guys. Come on.
To be fair, he is old.
I know he is old, but that doesn't mean you make him look old. I mean, they sent freaking Hulk Hogan out there, and they do everything in their power to make him not look like he's 90 years old.
Yeah, that's because if you say the word bald and Hulk Hogan in the same sentence, he will sue. Check the WCW history book. That's true.
Fair enough. And then they sent him out here. They got him all oiled and tanned up. They put a wig on his bandana on and dye his mustache up and everything. I mean, they'll send Vince out there with his big, pumped up muscle and fitness magazine pecs that he's shot into himself and everything else. Sting can look like crap.
Hulk Hogan doesn't have a wig.
It looks like a wig though.
The bandana covers the bald.
I'm aware. I'm just saying when he has the bandana on, the way his hair is cut and dyed, it looks fake.
Fair enough. But yeah, they went with old Sting, which kind of works, because to be fair, if they tried to make him look too young, I've seen how WWE does that, and who remembers Just for Men Kevin Nash? When his beard and hair was too black.
Yeah. And Eric Bischoff.
Yep. It was so black, I thought it was going to promise to be in a Round the Pound video and never show up.
Oh.
Next time does not condone the comments of
I'll
Crystal Ball.
allow it. No, I'll allow it.
Okay. Richter has stated he'll allow it. He's the host. Fair enough.
That's what Rick did.
Yeah. It's fun.
That's Rick emulating his other bald idol, Mills Lane.
But no.
Oh, come on, that was a good joke. Fuck you.
But the other reason I don't want him to de-age Sting is just because whoever he goes against at WrestleMania, he did say, to his credit, he'd want to go against Undertaker, and if he couldn't go against Undertaker, he would go against Triple H. He has said that, which it looks like that could be a possibility. Both Triple H and Undertaker have not been de-aged, which means having young Sting against old Taker or young Sting against old Triple H would look weird.
True.
And with Sting like that, you can build up the history and talk about how aged and what a grizzled veteran he is.
That's true.
The phrase grizzled veteran needs to come up at least 5 times during their fights.
Agreed.
Vintage Sting. How'd you know? You weren't a commentator then. Fuck off.
Ah.
But can I just also say, does anyone have a line of the night? I gave Marcus mine. Mine was the bunny match.
The bunny match?
Yeah, during the bunny match, they turned around and said, "Oh, is Titus O'Neil the powerhouse of his team?" And like, yeah. And then it's like, is Adam Rose the powerhouse of his team? I go, well, yeah, kind of by default. And he's like, oh, what about the bunny? He goes, well, what would you call the bunny? And JBL goes, I don't know, stew. And I was like, nice, he wanted to make bunny stew.
I did like that line. And while I've never had it, I hear Haas and Pfeffer is good.
I don't know. I like the one during the tag match, the one that you liked more. Wait, shouldn't Miz now not be doing anything because the Miz is just kind of standing there?
Yeah. I will also say, I can't believe I'm going to give props for this. Triple H did a good job. I mean, don't get me wrong, Triple H is a good job in it. He does do a good job as a heel. But what I meant by that was, who remembers when Scott Steiner debuted on WWE, or returned to WWE technically? Who remembers when Goldberg debuted in WWE? Every time these great not great with Goldberg, or Scott Steiner, but still.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Whenever these main event wrestlers, whether or not they deserve it, or
Grizzled veterans.
No, these main eventers who are famous for basically being intimidating and stuff, get into the ring. Triple H stands there flexing and just stares them down, and that's it. At a certain point, he started staring down Sting. They stared each other down. Triple H actually backed off and looked intimidated, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing here? And it's like, that's brilliant. He actually sold the thing of he actually got intimidated by Sting, and I was like, that's brilliant. If he'd sold it as just being, oh, look, I have to be the most powerful person, it wouldn't have been as good.
No.
Mm-hmm.
It's like back in the day, and I can't believe I'm going to say that one, in the Attitude Era, as much as it looked shit in the previous, like, 2 years ago when they did it in the game, basically Mankind coming out as Cactus Jack, as Mick Foley himself has gone on record as saying, he just changed shirts. But the fact Triple H made out like, oh my god, it's Cactus Jack, holy fuck. Like, oh my god, I'm so intimidated by this. It sold it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and Brian pulled that off while Foley was also on the Titantron as Doodlove.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I don't know. Mine of the night had to go to the opening promo of Vince. You know, I got Vince. All I know of that crap. Another leader of Dave Cena, John Cena. You know, that he blatantly called them on the crap sucking up. That was great.
Yep. Outfit of the night, Rusev flip-flops. No.
Yes. Yes, by far.
Yeah, I miss us doing awards because I would so suggest an award just for tonight of footwear of the night.
Footwear of the night. I love it.
There you
It
go.
wouldn't happen every week unless someone wore something ridiculous, but still.
Well, with the kind of thing that we should do, if we're going to bring awards back, it should just be, okay, we'll have Superstar of the
Joke
Night.
awards based on the night. Based on the night.
Exactly. To have like Superstar of the Night and Match of the Night, and then everything else is just awards that we make up to fit whatever happened that night.
Yeah, or of the week if we go to do the week ones and stuff. Yeah, I could see that working. It's like I kind of want to see Rusev based on the fact he was in flip-flops in more and more ridiculous outfits. Not to the point of being Damien Sandow, because that's his gimmick, but how awesome would it be if, I don't know, let's say, let's use Cena as an example. Cena walks into the locker room, and by the fire is Rusev in like the pipe, the slippers, the dressing gown. He's like, oh yes, Lord, and he's talking in a British accent, and Cena's like, crush on, and goes back to being Russian. It'd be fucking hilarious. It'd be like, wait, what? That's what Rusev does when he's not in the ring. I kind of want to see Rusev do stuff, and I don't know why.
I agree. I think that'd be hilarious. But Fallen Angel, what did you think of the main event?
Overall, I think it was really solid. Most of the stuff that occurred when Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury, Triple H, and whoever else got involved in the match, it didn't feel like it was ruining the match at all because we sort of already knew it was going to happen. And by the way, I called this match because I knew exactly who was going to win and how it was going to end. So
Yeah, except you thought Orton was going to come out.
Yeah, I don't recall you ever mentioning Sting there, buddy.
you know, I mean, Dolph Ziggler being the last one standing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Technically, he was not standing.
Hey, he was walking around a bit funny.
But if we go to do, I do think we were onto something there, Jim. I think we don't even have to tell each other what they are, so it's even more hilarious. We should just say like 5 or something like that, and then start bringing back the awards. But we just make up joke ones for the week. Like I know for a fact one award I would totally give for tonight.
What's that?
The lingering tag of the night. Now, who should I give that to?
Yes.
I think tonight would also have to give the lesbian kiss of the night.
Yep.
I would give the random what the fuck of the night to Eric Rowan. Stops playing with his Rubik's Cube. Win. Like, what?
John Cena, win.
They will
I also
fight.
feel-
We will win.
I also feel like he needs a new clown mask. I feel like he needs a new mask. Because the sheep one was more quiet gimmick.
Yeah.
I feel like the Bellas, they need to differentiate them now a little bit and
Yeah.
start breaking them up from their old gimmick. Although, I would be honest, I would totally love, what's his name, Eric Rowan, if he was to wear a mask. It needs to be, I could go with a clown mask if it's like Sweet Tooth, like in Payday.
That'd be awesome.
No, dude. Noble. I thought Noble with his suit looked like if he put on the sheep mask, he would look like he was in Payday.
That'd be awesome.
Like he like that was the perfect Payday suit. All he needed was the mask.
Nice.
Also, I don't know if I'm the only one, but when they had all their entrances, I liked Eric Rowan's theme song. Did not like Luke Harper's I didn't like his entrance at all. I didn't like his video or anything. I thought Eric Rowan's was far better.
Fair enough. I will also say this pay-per-view though did one thing,
Okay.
which I don't know if anyone else got this sense. Watching this pay-per-view, I was very aware that half of the roster was injured or off making films, because I was like, yeah, a load of your big hitters aren't here, to the point where you've basically got the two Wyatts on the teams and stuff. It's like, where's Sheamus? Because obviously we know he's injured and stuff or whatever it was, but Sheamus, Orton, Daniel Bryan, as much as I may not like his gimmick, but Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, all of these people, all of these people disappeared, gone, whatever, injured, making films, whatever, but it's all at once, to the point where it was very noticeable this night.
Kinda, yeah.
A little bit.
I mean, just think how much better this match, that main event would have been if you took out the two Wyatts and replaced Team Cena's with Sheamus, the other one with Orton. How awesome that would have been. Or hell, replace, I don't know, Ryback with Roman Reigns.
hmm
Replace Dolph Ziggler with Daniel Bryan.
I almost
Daniel
wish they
Bryan
had
be the
done
last
what
one
we
standing?
thought they were going to do.
Oh, what was that, Rick?
So Daniel Bryan would be the last man sort of standing, is what you're saying?
Pretty much. Because
Replace-
to be fair, like I mentioned earlier, it annoyed me that Dolph did that and people didn't call bullshit, which I've accepted. I've accepted Super Bryan at this point. Like I've accepted Super Cena now and again. I'm like, I've accepted they do this.
Replace
But
Luke Harper with
it
Wade
also makes,
Barrett.
but it would have also made sense if Daniel Bryan had been the sole survivor in that matchup, getting rid of the Authority, who treated him the way they did for so long and shit, and put his wife through hell, made his sister-in-law turn heel and enslave his wife, which then forced his wife to kiss his ass. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with WWE. I shouldn't be able to say that sentence, but yeah. But yeah, you know what I mean? Daniel Bryan would have made sense. I understand why, because he's injured and all that. But he would have made sense to have been the last guy on the team, and it would have been perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And what I was saying, I kind of wish they had done what we thought they were going to do, kind of wanted them to do.
You wanted Undertaker to return and kiss Kane the same way Brie kissed AJ?
No, but that would have been hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
No, because I remember early on we were talking about Cena going after Dean Ambrose to get Dean Ambrose on his team and Bray Wyatt joining Team Authority. I almost wish they'd have done that now, seeing what they actually did with Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose.
That would have worked as well. Like Bray Wyatt on one team and Dean Ambrose on the other. Move Cesaro and shit onto the card. The Cesaro and Swagger. Which, hang on, if Cesaro beat Swagger,
Yep.
I thought the reason Swagger was replaced from Team Cena was he was injured. That's what they said. He got injured, so he couldn't compete on Team Cena. So why is he not on Team Cena if he was wrestling at the beginning of the night?
They didn't really want him there. They just didn't know how to tell him. So they're just like, "You're injured, Jack. It's okay. Just sit this one out." And he's like, "Oh, okay, guys."
I think Ambrose would have worked the best, because I could see Ambrose being the last one standing, and it's Ambrose v. Rollins, the grudge match, where Ambrose finally wins, albeit with help from Sting, but Ambrose finally wins, and that actually ends their feud.
You know, but
like,
the problem,
literally ends the feud.
yeah, the problem is that wouldn't have worked, because if that had happened, Ambrose wouldn't have bothered repeatedly trying to pin Rollins. He would have punched him in the face, attacked him with weapons, and they would have fought out of the crowd, and the match never would have ended.
Yeah, but like I said, there's various possibilities, like what Marcus said, or like I said, if Brian hadn't been injured using him, or various ones. But overall, to me personally, it just felt very aware that half of your roster is injured.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see the fallout from this.
Although, just because everyone wanted it at WrestleMania, how dickish would it have been if Sting had got into the ring to take out the Authority, and then Undertaker had suddenly appeared and took out Sting? And if people were like, wait, what? And the reason Undertaker did it is his brother. He wants his brother to still have a job.
Yeah.
He's
Honestly,
like, don't worry, bro, I got this.
when I was
Except that would make sense because Kane didn't give a shit when Undertaker's streak was broken.
To be fair, Kane also buried him alive, and then a few months later they were teaming again. They have a complex relationship.
yeah, I mean they buried their father in concrete.
Mhm.
But anyway, when I was kind of thinking might happen when Sting came out.
Kane's father.
Yeah, all right, Kane's father. What I was thinking might happen when Sting came out is I was hoping they'd do a double Russo swerve.
What, and Orton was going to jump over and RKO him?
Actually, I was hoping Sting was going to come out to the ring and get Triple H's face. Triple H was going to be like staring at him, like what's going on, and then as he was staring down Sting, Orton would jump out of the crowd and Triple H turn around and get RKO'd.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like I said, it's kind of bad. I think that's why they gave the pay-per-view for free. I mean, it wasn't a bad pay-per-view. It just felt like it wasn't complete, and I don't know why. But so many people could have been used. So many things they could have done if only people weren't injured or if they were willing to use certain people and stuff like Christian.
Yeah.
If Christian was healthy, Christian would have been great in any match. Even the
Yeah.
Divas match, dressed as a woman, Christian would be awesome.
Christina?
It could happen.
Oh, we lost the Fallen Angel.
Okay then.
We never had the Fallen Angel.
Yeah.
He was never here at all.
Russo swerve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Well-
QJ. He got offended and left.
Yeah. But I think we talked about the pay-per-view enough.
Yeah, that's about enough. Take us home, Annie.
All right, so there you have it.
Oh, I should note if you are having listening to this live, make sure you tune into the WWE Network in, just over an hour if you want to hear Vince McMahon's reactions to the results of the main event of Survivor Series, by the way.
Or tune in next week where someone, probably Rick or Jim or Marcus, one of those three will probably give away what happened anyway when we go to do the next week's recording.
True.
Yeah. Did we want to give our final thoughts about the pay-per-view? I know Mole has, but
It was okay. I really, really liked the main event. I thought what they did with Dolph and everything was really, really good. They built the story around it really well. And the Sting thing just out of nowhere was great. So I thought they did a great job with the main event. And the tag team match was also really good. I thought they all got a turn to shine there, and that was really good. The Divas title match worked well for what it was. The other two matches were eh.
see, I thought all the matches were pretty solid, except for the Dean Ambrose one, because that really wasn't much of a match. The main event was good. The ending, I'm still kind of on the fence about it. It was awesome to see Sting, because I've never, actually seen him wrestle or anything. I never really watched WCW when he was a big player. I know I've seen WCW a couple times with Richter back in college, but I don't recall ever seeing Sting there. It might have been when he was taking time off or after he had left. But but so it was cool to see that. But it was, I don't know. I just felt kind of underwhelmed by Sting's debut. It was like, okay, it's Sting, and he had no baseball bat, and he basically did the Scorpion Death Drop and left. And I'm like, that's it? That's his debut? Overall, I thought it was.
Well, it's setting up a
This was a pretty
storyline.
good
It was just supposed to be for
Yeah,
shock value because now that shock value, Sting is back. Now everybody's gonna go buy the WWE Network for just $9.99 to find out what's gonna happen come the Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
Right.
there is that, and there's also the fact, like you mentioned, you haven't really seen Sting before. It's like if I'd been Shawn Michaels and he just kicked him in the face, and you hadn't seen Shawn Michaels before, you'd be like, okay, so what? Is this guy good? It's basically banking on the fact you know who he is.
Fair enough.
Pretty much just for the holy shit, it's Sting.
Yep.
Fair enough. I guess the other thing that I didn't quite like about that is apparently Sting has ability to stop time, as I mentioned, because it's like, really? Like, I guess part of it didn't make sense, because it was like, you guys aren't doing anything. You have all the time in the world. You're not doing anything. What, Sting can, like, make you freeze in your tracks? He's not the Batman. Come on.
No, he's the Crow Man. In all fairness, though, when the lights came back on, the ref was gone, so he may have just made the ref disappear.
No, the ref was there, and as soon as Sting made it about halfway down the ramp, and the ref realized Sting was coming to the ring, he hightailed it because I saw him slide out of the ring. He was like, "Fuck this, I'm out of here." Phoom.
Fair enough.
Like you couldn't just count the 3 and then leave. You had all the time in the world to do that.
I would say Sting was able to stop time because he has John Morrison's powers now. John Morrison's no longer employed.
Ah, fair enough.
Maybe he killed him and then gained that power.
He did.
But yeah, I enjoyed the pay-per-view.
That's not face paint. It's the ashes of John Morrison, like Kratos.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, I have to admit, Survivor Series was better than I was expecting it to be, given the fact it was a free pay-per-view this month.
Well, they had to make it good, otherwise nobody will want to come back and pay $9.99 for more.
Yep.
Excuse me.
I also remember at the beginning of this thing, Jim, you mentioned about how you missed the days of yore when the pay-per-view sets were unique and different.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, that's back in the days when WWE had a budget.
To be fair, I kind of like the new one. I like the new non-themed one. The themed ones worked for certain events, but for like Survivor Series, you don't need Survivor Series to be themed. Its theme is the multiple tags, and it also means It also means the fans get to do shit like, I don't know, create an arena whenever that features in a game, but also it also allows for stuff like all the HD sets that they've got ready to just be all the same, and it makes it easier to transport it so they can go to more locations and do the pay-per-views.
True. But yeah, I enjoyed the pay-per-view, and for those of you listening out there who haven't gotten the network, I would say I would recommend getting the network for the remainder of this month because it is free for November, and check out Survivor Series because it wasn't terrible, and you get to see Sting. So yeah, come on,
Go for it.
it's free. You get to see Sting. That should sell you on it right there.
Go for
Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay, round that out, Hammy. Let's finish this.
Okay. Real quick though, I thought the pay-per-view was pretty good. I liked the tag match and the main event. I thought was pretty good. The rest were okay.
Yeah.
But other than that, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us for another WXR for the Survivor Series recap and review.
It was a pleasure.
To quote the stun double of the tag team champions, you're welcome.
All right, so hopefully anyone listening come back next week on Saturday when we will go over what happened this upcoming week in wrestling. Thank you very much for listening, and good night.